Welcome to Living Life, the show that allows you to pursue things that make you happy, curious, and keep you open-minded. This is Living Life on the Empty the Bench Podcast Network. Welcome to Sweets, Treats, and Eats on the Empty the Bench Podcast Network. I'm Howie Morgasen. On this show, it's all about the Super Bowl. And the food that's probably most talked about for the Super Bowl is nachos. So we're going to talk about nachos today. We're going to make two types of nachos. We're going to make what I call the all-in nachos, which everybody loves. And then we're also going to make a cheesy version for those that like basic nachos. And then we'll put a small salad together, which I think is pretty cool. And we'll put it all together. So what I first want to talk about is sort of the anatomy of nachos, or the 101 of nachos. So nachos has several components, and when you build them all together, you get something that's really delicious and really fun to eat. So let's talk about what goes into nachos. So the first part is the platter. So when you make nachos, especially if it's for a large crowd, make sure you have a platter that is large enough to hold all the chips and all the good things that you're going to put into it. So that's the first part. The second part would be the chips. So there's two types of chips that are very popular. One of them is the scoop, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. And the scoop is sort of that thing that holds the toppings and stuff inside of it. And then the other type is the conventional flat tortilla chip, which I have here. We're going to use that today because I find that it's easier to make nachos using this type of tortilla chip. So that's what we're going to use here, but feel free to use the scoops if you want to. It's perfectly acceptable. So next, we have the meat part of it. So as you can see here, I have some chopped meat, and the preparation of the chopped meat was very standard. I cooked it in a skillet till it was done. I added a packet of taco seasoning mix, which you can get at the supermarket, mixed it in, and there you have the chopped meat that we're going to work with. Next, I have the salsa here. Now, there's a lot of good recipes for salsa, but if you don't have the time, you can do what I did. You can go out to the market and buy a bottle of salsa. This I got from Costco because that's the salsa that I like. And then the next part is the cheese. And there's a lot that's been said about the cheese that you use for nachos. Some people will say, use cheddar or whatever your popular type of cheese is. I find that the best cheese for nachos is Velveeta. And so Velveeta comes a couple of different ways. What I did is I bought the large chunks of Velveeta. And then what I did is I cut it up, as you can see, into little cubes here. And I have two bowls of Velveeta that I have here because I'm going to make two types of salsa. I'm going to make the all-in salsa, which is going to have the chopped meat in it. And then I'm going to make the cheesy ones, which is just going to have the salsa and the cheese in it. That way I can melt both of those together so I'm ready to go. And then I also have some hot sauce over here. And this is strictly optional. If you don't like things spicy, then you don't have to put the hot sauce in it. Same thing with the salsa. This is a medium level salsa. If you don't like that spicy, and it's not very spicy, then you can use a mild salsa to do that as well. So those are the basics that go into the salsa. I did the pre-work this morning, so I cooked the meat, I put that together, I sliced all the cheese, I got my platters ready, I have my chips, and now what we're going to do is we're going to put together the salsa. Okay, so let's assemble our nachos. Before we do that, I just wanted to mention that you can check us out on social media at Living Life ETB, all the recipes and information about the show. And then if you more information about the Empty the Bench Podcast Network and the different shows, you can check that out at ETB Network. So let's make some nachos. So I said we were going to do two different kinds. So first we're going to do the cheesy ones, because that's probably the easy one. So I'm going to grab the cheese and we're just going to sort of drip it over the top, spread it out as much as we can, because we want to put some goodness available to everybody. So you can see we melted the Velveeta, we included some salsa in it as well. And we're just going to sort of layer it all over like that. Doesn't that look great? So that is basic cheesy nachos, and some people just like it that way, so we're not going to put anything else on it. But now we're going to sort of go into the all-in nachos. And so what I have here is the Velveeta that I melted with the salsa and with the chopped meat that I cooked up with the taco sauce. So we'll do the same thing with that. We're going to go over the top and we're going to sort of drip it all over the chips. Try to cover as much as we can of that cheesy, meaty goodness that we have here. Just sort of ladle it on, so whatever chip you pick up, you're going to get all the goodness of the nachos. So doesn't that look great? Okay, so now for the all-in nachos, we add some additional things. So I have some pickled jalapenos that I have here. And so if you don't like spicy, pickled jalapenos are not as spicy as the regular ones. They have a little kick to it, but not too much. So you want to take those and you want to spread those around on top. Dress that up a little bit. That looks great. Okay, and then the last thing you sort of put in on the all-in nachos that we have is just a little hot sauce, and we sort of drizzle that over the top. So we sort of get it in there. And there you have it, nachos two ways. So we have the cheesy nachos for those who like the plain nachos. And then we have the all-in nachos, which has the cheese and the meat and the salsa and the pickled jalapenos. Both excellent nacho dishes. Look what we made. We made these incredible Super Bowl nachos, and we made it two ways. First, we made basic cheesy nachos, and that is made with the Velveeta cheese and the salsa melted together and poured over our chips. Yummy. Then we have what we call the all-in nachos, and that's with the Velveeta, with the chopped meat and the taco sauce, and then we also put in the pickled jalapenos on top, and then a little hot sauce. And boy, these are great. In addition to what we put on our nachos, there are additional things that are staples for nachos. So we have sour cream over here, guacamole, additional salsa if you want to do that. And then we put together this salad, which you would want to serve with it. And this is made up of avocados, cucumber, and tomato put together. You might also want to put some red onion on it. That would make a great addition. And we have this dressing that we made up of olive oil and wine vinegar and lemon and garlic and oregano. So you just pour that over the top like that, and then you would just serve it up as a salad. So I hope you try these nachos, and I hope you enjoy them for the Super Bowl. By the way, I hope you enjoy the Super Bowl. And you join us next time on Sweets, Treats, and Eats. Oops.